This Wednesday, Veracifier went down to the YouTube Republican debates, CNN's showcase event.
Hi, I'm James Kentucky. I'm taller in person because I slouch in my videos.
Before things got going, we went looking for some Republicans. But oddly, all we found were lots of Dems. And lots of these guys.
Ron Paul! Neocons out! Ron Paul! Freedom! Ron Paul!
The Ron Paul revolution was in Florida in full force.
So how do you start a revolution? You gotta get people mad! Are you mad? Yeah, I'm mad!
There's a new breeze blowing across this country. What you see now, Ron Paul is just the beginning. That's the tip of the iceberg. We're going to elect people to Congress. We're going to, and it's just going to spread across this country.
Where are all the, the Romneyites?
I haven't seen one Romneyite.
How many candidates do you see represented here? These people have paid their own way to come here for this. They're not being supported. Mitt Romney, he's got a few people here, but they all came in on his jet.
I saw one Edwards, but they're very quiet. And I saw a Kucinich stand. They're really quiet, too.
What about any Republicans?
I didn't see any Giuliani either. No.
In the theater, there were lots of dressed-up Republicans, but everyone seemed pretty undecided.
So, are you a new candidate? Or
I just filed a couple months ago.
What candidate have you aligned yourself with for the presidential nomination?
I haven't, actually. Yes, I'm one of the few. I have to have someone that does everything. So that doesn't exist. Right, that's me. I mean, I'm the perfect candidate for myself.
I like Romney, I like Giuliani, and I like Thompson.
What about this guy?
I think you have the looking good wet look.
Okay. What I basically want to see is the champion of the Constitution, Ron Paul, discussing his anti-war positions versus a Republican group that really has lost its way.
So, if Ron Paul weren't a Republican, would you be supporting anybody on the stage?
Absolutely not.
Is under threat.
In the spin room after the debate, none of the top-tier candidates showed up. It was still mayhem, but we got our questions in.
What was your response to the audience as they booed the Brigadier General?
Well, I think that was the audience has got a right to have their position, and I did not agree with the general. I think people understand that our people in uniform have a right to have principles, and that they are principles. They're not prejudices, they're principles that they have that's a part of their Judeo-Christian background. And that it is a discomfort to them, to units of our soldiers in small groups, to have that situation forced on them by politicians who are trying to score a political point.
One would argue, though, that part of those Judeo-Christian values that so many of the people in the audience share tonight would encourage them to love God's children, all of them, and at least not boo a retired Brigadier General in public.
Well,
I mean, do you condone that behavior?
Yeah. Well, listen. I don't want to beat up on the audience. I think when an audience comes to something, they can cheer or boo. I'm not going to put the audience down for expressing either support or non-support for statements that were made, because they did the same thing with the candidates on the forum. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's all taken in good humor.
I'm sorry?
How does it feel to have made the best political ad ever?
Oh, they're pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool, yeah. It was fun. It was fun to do, and actually after we did that, I got Mike in my gym, and he and I sparred, worked out.
Who won?
I tell you, he's tough. I was surprised. He hung in there pretty good. I bet I knocked him out. But.
And the man himself?
Dr. Paul, if you don't get the bid, would you be willing to run as an independent?
Right now, I have no intention of doing that. It's just a terrible situation in this country because all the laws are biased, and unless you're a billionaire, you have a lot of trouble getting on the ballots.
How do you think that you built such an online community? I mean, it's so strong and so vibrant. How did that happen?
I think they discovered me through my positions in the debates, especially on the war. They went to my website and looked at my voting record and say, my goodness, that's exactly what I believe in. So they more or less did it themselves. We didn't have a strategy to go out and find our people or hire people to look for them. We offered them a program and it was very receptive to young people, and they rallied behind it, and they're the organizer. And like I said, I am delighted that I am part of the revolution.
Afterwards, Google threw a hell of a party. But down the road, the Paul-O-Rama kept going.
No army can stop an idea whose time has come. Thank you.
All in all, it was a great time at the debates. But away from the TV cameras, where were the McCainies, the Giuliani-Rama, the Romneyites? And while the top-tier candidates were off giving private interviews, only one guy was answering questions until the end. I'm Raleigh Elizabeth Smith, on the ground for Veracifier.